Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Flubber Nerds podcast. I'm here with Jason Mondine. Hi, Jason. Thanks for returning to the channel. Obviously, we spoke a
Hi.
while back, and it's great to have you back. So, how have you been?
Oh, been hanging in there, with the coronavirus continuing to keep so many performers at home.
Yes.
It's been challenging to figure out ways to keep things going over these last, what has it been, like 10 months or so?
Yeah, it's been a long time to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been finding ways to keep busy in the puppet world for that time.
That's great.
One of the ways in which that's been going on is I have a new mentor,
Okay.
and anyone who's interested in puppetry should look up Puppet Pie, Pie, like the dessert
Yes.
that I just ate way too much of on my Thanksgiving dinner. And a lot of people, Muppet fans, will know Stacy Gordon, the founder of Puppet Pie, from her performance as the character of Julia on Sesame Street.
Okay.
Julia is the Muppet character who has autism. And that's important for me because my son, my one and only son, has severe autism.
Okay.
And so it's really good to see that represented
Yeah.
on screen
You
in
know, yeah.
a format that I can really get behind and appreciate.
No, I totally get that because obviously puppetry is massive for you and your job, obviously. So, yeah, diversity is massive because they've introduced, is it an Asian puppet recently?
Yes. Just this last Thursday. I still haven't gotten a chance to see it because of all the family stuff, but I definitely want to.
Nice. Yeah. That's really cool,
Yeah.
though. So obviously you said you got a mentor. So what work have you been focused on? Well, it's been a while since we last spoke. So in the last, say, 6 months.
hmm So actually what's interesting is that I've had the opportunity to do some building most recently.
Okay.
So I have a friend who was one of my co-stars in a Halloween play called Beware the Terror of Gaylord Manor, where I'm a puppeteer and he's one of the main actors.
Okay.
His name is Scott Shoemaker. He is a burlesque drag performer here in Seattle, and he is absolutely brilliant. And I contacted him a few months ago to do some voice work for a project I'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then he contacted me a few weeks ago saying that he needed a puppet of himself for his upcoming stage production
Okay.
called Scott Shoemaker's War on Christmas.
Nice. Sounds
Yeah,
cool.
it's a production that he does a version of every year, and it is just hilarious and irreverent, and yet also very celebratory of everything Christmas. And so it's actually the best puppet build that I've done so far.
Oh, wow.
This is the work in progress. He has no hair yet, but he will. And he's even going to have some facial hair to try and match Scott's appearance.
Oh, nice.
Oh boy, it's such a relief to finally be able to see. This guy put off my eyes until the very end.
Those eyes look
I was,
amazing, by the way.
oh, thanks. Yeah. I've learned a lot in these last 2 years. It's ironic. I've actually probably learned more about puppet building since not being able to go out of the house than
Yeah.
I did when I was able to go out of the house. So, what's fun about this one is that I've learned a lot more about stitching and about hiding the stitching. And it's
Ah,
also the
okay.
first time I've ever used fleece from a website called Puppet Pelts. And
Nice.
now I'm spoiled.
So do you think you'll keep going down the puppet building route?
I still dabble in it a little bit, but my passion is still performing.
Okay, right.
And that's mainly what I've been learning on the Puppet Pie website with Stacy. She does online courses and practice sessions,
Yeah.
and she is a terrific teacher, and they are really affordable. I highly recommend it to anyone. So in other news, one of the things I was talking about before is how I trained at a program called Beyond the Sock.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's been off. It's been not happening for the last 2 years because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But all of the graduates of the class, we have our own Facebook group. So we decided rather than just kind of let the whole thing fade away, that we would do our own virtual programs.
Okay.
And we did one last year, and we did one this year. And what's been fun about that is that here's the other puppet that I've built since that. It was actually part of the 2020 program. It was originally a monster puppet, but then I turned it into an otter.
Oh,
Hey, how
nice.
you doing? Yeah, it's good to be here. Where are we? Oh, well, this is Seattle, yeah. And that over there, I think is Scotland, right?
Manchester. Well, close to Manchester.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, that was going to be my guess. Sure. I believe that. Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool as well. I love the style of the build.
Yeah, that was designed by Pasha Romanowski of Project Puppet. And the human caricature was also from patterns from Project Puppet.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing I've been able to do, I've gotten a few videos together. In fact, this character right here is called Erica, and she's an Asian small-clawed otter. And I was able to do a episode of Planet Zoopak
Oh, wow.
with Sir David Attenrhino, where
Nice.
he's trying to narrate the story of the Asian small-clawed otter, and she keeps chiming in with completely wrong information and totally throwing him off through the whole sketch. And so that was fun because I got to channel, because it was because Sir David is such a British character, I got to channel a little bit of my love for British humor in that.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the other thing that's been going on, so actually, before I go on, one of the things that we always did at Beyond the Sock is at the end of the program, we would do a big musical number, a big Muppet-like musical number with all the new puppets that we had just built.
Yeah.
Well, we can't get in the same room and do that when we're off season. So last year we did Monsters, and we did an old 50s Halloween song called Coolest Little Monster.
Right.
And that was a fun video. But this year we actually did amphibians. We used a pattern of Pasha's called the Simple Series pattern, and we built amphibians. Now, I didn't build this one. My friend Avery, she built this one because she loves building, but she hates having to perform.
Oh, okay.
So she had this character, a cane toad named Sugar.
Oh, nice.
Hello. She's like an old retired actress / model. Yes. I've really been around the block, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so she has, she was been on all the tabloids and all of the fashion magazines and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I can do an okay voice for her, but I was thinking, gosh, well, who could I get to do a voice who would be much better than me? And that's when I thought of Scott, my friend Scott Shoemaker. Because his drag characters are always so just flamboyant and regal, and he has such a great sort of deep voice, and he did sort of a Katharine Hepburn type voice for her, which was just wonderful. Yes.
Nice.
And she was being interviewed in her retirement home and talking about all of the tabloid stuff she did. But at the end of that, in addition to that sketch, we also did a big musical number, and it was the first time in the history of the Beyond the Sock group that I was able to contact someone I knew from the zoo, from Woodland Park Zoo, and performing puppet shows there, a songwriter named Joe Riley.
Okay.
Who has a song about amphibians. And I said, why don't I reach out to Joe and see if we can get his permission this time to actually go out and everyone from around the country. I even had people from Australia and from Germany sending in videos of their amphibian puppets lip syncing to this song. And we put it all together, and it was the first time we've been able to put the song online.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because before we do, it was a copyrighted song, whatever song we were using. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so I think they did Yellow Submarine one year, and they did an Andrew Lloyd Webber song another year, and strangely enough, we never got permission from those people.
No, I understand that. Yeah, but that's really cool.
Yeah, they
It's
just
like,
wouldn't return our calls.
yeah.
But Joe allowed that. And Joe also allowed me to do something else which I've never done before. He has another song. It's a really beautiful slow song based on a children's book about a young Native American boy who dreams of becoming a hawk,
Okay.
and takes a hawk from its nest and keeps it in captivity for a while until he realizes that he should really release it.
Oh, okay.
And it's a beautiful slow song called Dreams of Flying. And he also gave me permission to do a shadow puppet version of that.
Nice.
It's the first time I've ever worked with shadow puppets. And let me see if I can grab an example real quick. Well, this one is half a shadow puppet anyway. And so I just shot against a green screen, and I just had these silhouettes on
Oh,
rods. And I just did a little bit of minimal movement with them
that's
and
really
had
cool.
them, yeah, and then composited it to backgrounds from the book that it was based on, that the song was based on.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've done shadow puppet work. So that was really fun. So yeah, I've been keeping busy with different projects.
Yeah. So for many ways, obviously I'm not saying in a good way, but COVID has allowed you to come come across things you never would have done without COVID in a way.
Yeah, in
Like,
a way, because otherwise I would have been caught up so much in performing live,
yeah.
especially at the zoo, at Woodland Park Zoo. And it's something I really, really miss.
So
I'm
are you meant to be going back?
performing live. Performing live is something I really miss, and I can't wait to get back to it. But so far, because Zoomasium, this place where the puppet theater exists at the zoo,
Yeah.
not only is it within a playground where you
Oh,
have kids running and being in close proximity, but it's an indoor playground,
I see.
which makes it great for bad weather days, which we have a lot of here. But it also means that the airflow, of course, is contained within, and so it's not a safe place during a pandemic to
No,
have
I
all
get
that.
that. Yeah.
I'm just waiting patiently, and in the meantime, I have the next thing that my own franchise, the Zoo Pack, will be doing is a series based on the raccoon and the kangaroo that I showed last time,
Oh, yes.
Joey and Kit. They are going to be in a series of videos that are going to be serialized, kind of like my main inspiration are the old Rocky and Bullwinkle
Oh, yeah.
cartoon,
Yeah.
where each episode would end in a cliffhanger and then you'd go on to the next episode. So I've been writing a series of short scripts for that. And I'm really looking forward to shooting those because they actually take place at the zoo. So far, all of the characters that I've shot either are animals in the wild or animals like Ellie and Clyde that are domestic.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So this series will be specifically focusing on animals that you can see at the zoo.
Nice.
And yeah, and I have two. Last time I failed to mention my two performing partners that I actually have a lot of performers I work with, but the two main core performers for me are Gina Wilhelm and Jason Girdler.
Okay.
So another Jason. And it's been a while since we've performed together, but we're about to get together to record the audio for the Joey and Kit sketches.
Okay.
Gina actually performs Kit, and Jason Girdler performs Joey. And I cast that deliberately so that I get to play all of the crazy characters that they encounter. And another thing I've been doing to get ready for that is doing some rebuilds of characters. Well, actually, commissioning rebuilds of characters, because as much as my building skills have improved,
Yeah.
they're still nowhere near some of the Beyond the Sock veterans that I got to meet. So this is a tiger that I built. This was only the second tiger character that I ever built.
Nice.
And basically a bag, and the snout is kind of misshapen. His eyes don't really focus. They're kind of yellowish because I was going for a realistic color. And this puppet was recently rebuilt for me by my friend Catherine Hannaford, who lives in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
So she built a new tiger puppet for me. And this is the new one.
Oh, so that's the one you don't use anymore.
Yes, that old puppet was retired.
Ah, okay.
You can see the difference now. Yes.
Wow.
I love the work she does, especially with the stripes that go through the white of the tiger's fur.
Yeah, that's amazing. That.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, he came out a little bit angrier looking.
Yeah, they all look very nice.
So I've adjusted his character a little bit. Now I'm doing him more like a bouncer at a club.
Ah, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Especially since tigers are not very social animals. They're very territorial.
Yes, true. Very true.
And so if you come into his habitat, he's going to be like, "Are you in the list?"
Yeah,
So it says here, in order to be in this habitat, you either have to be me, which you're not, or you have to be a female tiger who is ready to have babies. You do not look like that. Or, let's see, or an offspring of me, which I don't remember. I don't remember you. So I'm thinking that you are not that either. So you are going to have to leave. So anyway, that's that character, which I'm developing.
Nice.
And the other puppet that was recently rebuilt for me, and this one was by Avery, who also built Sugar, is an orangutan. And that was the first puppet I ever built. I don't have that puppet with me anymore.
Okay.
Actually, it's on loan to a friend of mine who has also become my producer, named Zoe.
Right.
And she's been helping me a lot when coordinating my projects. And she has her own franchise, but she's been using that puppet to rehearse.
Right.
But this is Lewis the orangutan. Hey man, how's it going? Whoa. Yeah, so like I went to Denver and had some work done. Man, I'm just feeling so much better. And so like spectacularly good looking too, man.
Yeah, you look a lot better. It looks
and
a lot
these
better.
are a couple, these are a couple of the characters that Joey and Kit will be encountering.
Oh, so you'll be voicing these ones?
Yes.
Right, nice. Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
So, and I'm having a blast of a time writing them. Now we just need to coordinate how to shoot all of the elements for these videos.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It seems like you've been a very busy person then.
Well, yeah, that's true. And of course, I also have my day job, which has been, knock on wood, very stable during this whole time. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And that's allowed me, as I said last time, I have enough financial stability that I've been able to pay for a lot of these creative people who I have the privilege to work with.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've been recently did, I became more involved in the local puppet guild, the Puppeteers of Puget Sound.
Nice.
Which is a branch of Puppeteers of America.
Okay. Right.
I must confess, though, as I became part of a committee to select the board members, to elect board members, and I must confess that being the rookie on the committee, my involvement was mainly sitting around going, "Okay, is this how we do it? Okay. Oh, you think that person would be great? Sure, I agree. You should go contact that person. Oh, they said yes. Oh, good.
Sounds like a fun job.
Well, yes, and fortunately, I've learned enough that maybe next time I can take a more active role.
Yes, well, maybe yes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're obviously quite new, so you just wanted to get yourself, on the good side of people. So it's the best way.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been mainly what I've been involved in.
Awesome. That's
And
amazing to hear.
yeah, I'm looking forward to the next series coming out, the Joey and Kit series. I'll let you know when things are happening in that world.
Yeah, sounds good. When do you think it'll be out?
I'm hoping, but that the first episode, we can get the first episode done in January.
Nice. Awesome. Is that in person or over Zoom?
That will be on YouTube.
Oh, right. All right. Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it's going to be a YouTube series. My plan is for the series to at least have that series started by the time the zoo reopens, so that I can talk to the education department about having more involvement.
Yeah.
Having the puppets be more directly involved in the educational programs at the zoo.
Nice. That's really cool to hear. I hope that happens because I'm seeing more and more that puppets are helping kids out a lot these days. So that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's great about puppets more than other media for creating these kind of fantasy characters is that they exist in the physical world.
Yes.
And so not only can kids see and hear them, but if they're in person, they can actually interact with them and make contact, make physical contact with them
Yes.
when that's safe to do,
Yeah.
of
Of course.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that brings it to another level, I think, because it can also involve maybe kids who can't necessarily see. They can actually have physical contact with those
Yeah.
puppets. And one thing that you may have noticed, I have a lot of live hands puppets where the hands are actually gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, what I'd like to do is partner with somebody who speaks sign language,
Okay.
because it would be a wonderful thing to have puppets that actually speak sign language.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
To pull that off would be incredible.
that's for much further down the line though, because
Yeah.
I would probably want to learn it myself.
Of course, which will take a long time. Well, not a long time, but enough time. So
Yeah, it would be a commitment of time.
yes, exactly. That's what I meant to say. Yes.
Yeah.
So just any final things you'd like to add or say?
So I am extremely grateful for all of the silver linings that I've managed to find during this time in the pandemic, and I hope that I've done a good job in sharing some of those silver linings with some of my fellow performers,
Yeah.
who maybe haven't been as fortunate.
Hmm.
So
No, that's really cool to hear, and it's grateful that you're putting that out to other people because I agree,
yeah,
because not everyone's going to be in the same circumstances, and they might not be able to perform until like next year. So
yeah, yeah,
here's to hoping things get back to normal sooner rather than later.
yes,
Yes.
I'm with you with that on that.
Yes. So I just want to say a huge thank you, Jason, for coming back to the channel. And I'll be happy to have you back on the channel down the line, even when you're free, of course.
Oh yes, 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 definitely.
Oh, it's your
Oh,
signature
you're all
puppet.
Dusty. Okay, good to see you again. I'm so glad to be part of this family. It's so cool. Much better than my family in my nest. All they will do all day is just go, feed me, feed me, feed me. So this is much more like symbiotic. Thanks you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, take care, Jason. All the best.
You too.
Goodbye.